Hey everybody, time for a new video. Before I start today, I have to show you my shirt. I just got this on Sunday from Chloe, Joey's girlfriend. Has Snoopy on it. I love Snoopy, but here's my favorite part. I love his friend Woodstock even better. Look how cute he is on the corner of that sleeve. Now today's video is not about Snoopy or anything. And I do have notes today because I'm not very good at remembering things, so I might have to refer to those. Today's video is on this. LGOs. I made this word up myself. I like to do that. It stands for Learning and Growing Opportunities. In the past, I would have referred to these as bad things that happened to me. Oh my God, another bad thing happened in my life. Boo-hoo, poor me, whatever. But I'm trying to put out more positivity into the world, so we're gonna call them Learning and Growing Opportunities. Last Thursday, I got a new learning and growing opportunity. I found out that I have this, SLE, and it stands for, I don't know if you can see it, I'm gonna hold it up there, Systemic Lupus Erythematosus. Isn't that a fun word to say, erythematosus? It's more commonly referred to as this, lupus. Now, I didn't really like the word lupus. I thought it sounded kind of gross or whatever, so I put some daisies on here to kind of lighten it up a little bit. Now, to be really honest, I didn't even know what lupus was. When the doctor told me I had it, she could have said, you have Campbell's soup disorder, and I would have had the same reaction. No idea what it was. But I did feel like, wow, I got this really strange piece of hair sticking out here. Sorry about that. I did kind of realize that maybe it wasn't the best thing to have, because she said something like, yeah, I'm really sorry to tell you, you have lupus, but we're trying to get you into a specialist as soon as we can. So I kind of felt like maybe this isn't the greatest thing. So I hung up the phone and I did my go-to. I immediately started crying. And I cried for maybe 30 seconds. And then I was like, why are you crying? You don't even know what this is or what this means. So I got up my phone and I started researching, in other words, Googling it. My daughter Megan told me not to Google it. Don't Google it, Mom. But I did. Sorry, Megan, I do love you. Okay, here's what I found out about lupus. Everybody's body makes proteins and they're called antibodies. And the purpose of an antibody is to protect your inside of your body from outside things in the environment that are bad, like bacteria, germs, viruses, things like that. Now, as someone who has an autoimmune disorder, which is what lupus is, their body doesn't know the difference between the good stuff and the bad stuff. And so what happens is their body will attack the good stuff, either in addition to the bad stuff or instead of the bad stuff. When I read that, I have to say I giggled a little bit. Not that there's really anything funny about this, but it did make me laugh because that sounded like exactly something I would do. A totally Heather thing to do. So this is me. I know I don't have red hair, but I couldn't find anything with dark hair. It would be like my body to be fighting these viruses. The thing about me is when I get really excited about things, I'm just like, go right for it. And sometimes I tend to not listen to what the outside thing is telling me. So I think I must have missed my body saying, whoa, ceasefire, you can stop fighting. I'm just in there fighting away, doodly-doo. So because my body has been basically attacking itself for who knows how long, I started to notice some kind of weird symptoms. The first thing I noticed was joint pain. Now, I'm not talking about my knees are feeling creaky. You get older, you kind of just, start to fall apart. This was like excruciating pain. I would wake up in the morning after sleeping a good 7-8 hours, comfortably sleeping, and I couldn't move. Like my elbows, knees, my hips were in so much pain. I'd have to kind of sit there and move things around. So that was number one red flag. Another one was just being tired and no energy. I'm a pretty energetic person, and I would unload the dishwasher and load it back up and have to go sit down. Taking naps. I've taken more naps in the last 3 months than I have in absolute years. Another thing I noticed was my stomach just felt gross all the time, like something was eating it or something. It just, ugh. Without getting into gross details, let's just say that my bathroom and I became besties. Another thing that lupus can do is affect your internal organs. Internal organs, like what are external organs? That's silly. Anyway, your organs, things like your heart, your kidneys, your lungs. When I heard about the lung thing, I thought, oh, wait a minute. I've been having lung problems for like 10 years. The doctors in Colorado told me I had COPD. It made no sense to me, and I'm not trying to be smarter than a doctor because I definitely am not. But that just made no sense. When I came to Nebraska, they said I had severe asthma. Now that made a little bit more sense. But when I read this about lupus affecting your organs, I thought maybe it has something to do with that. By nature, I am a pretty optimistic person. I'm a problem solver. So usually what happens when a problem arises is I have a pity party first. They're getting shorter in duration, so I'm happy about that. I'll have my little pity party and then I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do? What's the solution? So back to Google I go. I found out that lupus is not curable. There's no cure for it, but there are things that you can do to manage your symptoms. First thing they list, of course, pharmaceuticals. Always pharmaceuticals. I'm not really excited about pumping more pharmaceuticals into my body. But there's things like anti-inflammatory drugs, steroids, things like that. Over-the-counter pain medications. Wow, this thing is really driving me nuts. Good grief. All right, it's just gonna have to be that way. Over-the-counter pain medications like Motrin, Aleve, that hasn't done jack crap to help me out. But then the thing that I read that can be most significant in alleviating your symptoms is your diet. So I went and got this, the Lupus Diet Plan. Got this book, nice big book. I learned a lot. It was really great. It taught me a lot about what lupus is and what it isn't. It talked a lot about what kind of foods you should be eating versus what kind of foods you shouldn't be eating. I was a little discouraged because pretty much everything on the do not eat this list is what I eat. It's everything in my kitchen, my pantry, processed foods, sugar, that was my whole pantry, whatever. So I was a little discouraged about that. But then they gave you a bunch of really kind of interesting recipes. Some of them, like this one, creamy avocado coleslaw. That was a hell no to me. See, I have a face on that. I'm willing to try avocados because they said that was the #1 anti-inflammatory food. But coleslaw, no, not cabbage. But then there were other ones that, even though I didn't know what the ingredients were, half of the ingredients, they sounded like something I'd be willing to try. So this, I think, is going to be really, really helpful. So that's where I am right now. I'm not really super excited to have this, but here's what I'm excited about. I think it's going to be another, like I said, learning and growing opportunities. And I can honestly look back on all the bad things that have happened to me over the last few years. And I can honestly say that when I came out the other side of that tunnel, I was a much stronger person, just a whole overall better person. So I'm really confident that this is what is going to happen with this as well. So thanks for listening. Until my next video, stay safe, stay healthy, lots of peace, lots of love. I'm working on my love. It doesn't really look like a heart. I'm working on that. Lots of peace, lots of love, and ciao for now.